You'll never take me alive!
Our movies start with a graduate student at Michigan State University, an astronomy major named Kate, was performing a routine scan of the night sky with the help of the Subaru telescope when she discovered something extraordinary. A massive, previously unknown comet was soaring through space on an unknown trajectory. It was immediately hailed as the greatest discovery of the century, and all the credit was due to Kate. When her professor, Dr. Randall Mindy, heard the news, he was equally thrilled. They celebrated her success with the other students. And as a tribute, the comet was officially named Comet Dibiasky. In a moment of shared excitement, the students inquired about the comet's size, speed, and direction. Randall began running the calculations, but what came up on his screen filled him with absolute terror. He abruptly sent the other students home and shared the horrifying truth with Kate. The comet was approximately 9 kilometers wide and was headed straight for Earth at a staggering speed of 25,000 miles per hour. This meant an impact was unavoidable. If it hit, the devastation would be so immense that all life on the planet would be wiped out. The most terrifying part was that the comet was only 6 months and 14 days away from colliding with Earth. This realization sent chills down Kate's spine as well. Acting immediately, they contacted Teddy Oglethorpe, the head of NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, and gave him all the data. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Teddy quickly arranged for a plane to take Randall and Kate to Washington, D.C. They went straight to the White House to inform the president of this serious matter. After sending word to her through her staff, they waited outside her office. They were shocked to discover that at that very moment, the United States President, Janie Orlean, was not taking the matter seriously. Instead, she was busy with a birthday party and political decisions. Kate, Randall, and Teddy waited for hours. But in the end, Jason, the president's son and chief of staff, simply told them to come back the next day. Frustrated and defeated, Kate and Randall left. Finally, after an agonizing wait, the president called them into her office. Her son, Jason, was also present. Randall and Kate, quite nervous, began to explain the situation. They described how, in 6 months and 14 days, the comet would strike the Earth with an explosive force equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, causing massive earthquakes and tsunamis that would destroy the entire planet. But even after hearing about the total annihilation of the world, the president acted as if it were a minor issue, like inflation or unemployment. She asked Randall what the percentage chance was of the comet hitting Earth, and he stated it was 100%. However, the president seemed more worried about saving her position than saving the world. She explained that with an election approaching, they couldn't possibly tell people they were all going to die in 6 months, as it would cause her party to lose the election. The president informed Randall and Kate that they would have to keep this a secret until after the election, and that they would only take action then. This news was a profound shock to Kate, Randall, and Teddy. Randall pleaded with them, explaining that there was still a chance to act. He described how they could send rockets with nuclear bombs into space to destroy or alter the comet's direction, and he emphasized that delaying the matter could be deadly. But Orlean dismissed his words. Randall, Kate, and Teddy left the White House in shock. They couldn't believe the president was delaying such a serious matter for the sake of an election. Determined to warn the public and force the government to act, they decided to get help from the media. Kate's journalist boyfriend, Philip, arranged a meeting for Randall and Kate with the reporters and director of the famous newspaper, the New York Herald. There, Randall and Kate told them about the comet and revealed that the president was hiding this huge catastrophe to save her political career. The reporters were stunned and gave them permission to go on their popular show, The Daily Rip. The next day, Randall and Kate arrived at the Daily Rip studio. However, the show's hosts were first interviewing a world-famous pop singer, Riley Bina, because she had recently broken up with her boyfriend, DJ Cello. This news was trending everywhere. And to get more ratings, the news channels were focusing on Riley and DJ Cello's love story instead of the world's impending destruction. After a long wait, Randall and Kate were finally called on the show. They told the world the truth, that in exactly 6 months, a massive comet would destroy the Earth. But instead of being afraid, the hosts simply laughed. They ridiculed Randall and Kate in front of the world, suggesting they needed to see a doctor for crazy people. Hearing this, Kate completely lost control and began screaming, yelling to the world that this was not a joke and that a comet was really going to hit Earth, and if they didn't act now, every living being on Earth would have to suffer the consequences. After her outburst, Kate left the show in tears. Still, no one believed them. The host dismissed their warning as a prank. A little while later, Randall and Kate checked the show's ratings, which clearly showed that people were more interested in Riley and DJ Cello's love story. The public was not taking Randall and Kate seriously. A meme of Kate's reaction made her widely infamous, and her boyfriend subsequently broke up with her. Some time went by. During those days, President Orlean also became embroiled in a scandal when an explicit photo of her was leaked on social media, making her very unpopular. It was certain she would lose the upcoming presidential election. At this moment, an FBI team arrested Randall, Kate, and Teddy for the crime of leaking secret information. But they didn't take them to jail. They took them to the White House. The president then called them into her office and informed them that her special scientists had investigated the comet and confirmed that their information was completely true, so they were going to take the initiative to save the world. Kate taunted Orlean, stating that she had finally found a political advantage in the matter and was only acting now to become a hero and save her career after the scandal. Orlean shamelessly agreed with her. However, Randall and Kate had no problem with this. They were happy, thinking that even if it benefited Orlean, their world would be saved. And just like that, Orlean and her son Jason started their political game. Orlean went on an emergency broadcast and told the entire world the truth about the comet, that in 5 months it was going to destroy the entire Earth. However, the president also assured people that she had devised a strategy to stop this destruction. She described the plan to send rockets with nuclear bombs into space to detonate the comet. Although the rockets could be remote-controlled from Earth, the president framed it as a mad mission to gain sympathy. She chose a military general, Benedict, for this mission, who was going to sacrifice himself. The president also told the world that Randall, Kate, and Teddy had made the biggest contribution to this mission. With this political move, President Orlean's name started buzzing all over the world, and she won the election by a landslide. After that, the day came for the rocket launch. The whole world was praying for the success of this mission. Orlean and her cabinet, along with Randall and Kate, watched the launch from the White House. At that moment, Peter Isherwell arrived. Isherwell was a tech billionaire whose company, Bash Mobile, manufactured mobile phones and other electronic devices. He was a supporter of President Orlean and provided her with the most funding. The mission's countdown began, and as soon as it ended, a large number of rockets were launched into space. The whole world, along with Randall and Kate, celebrated the successful launch. The scientists estimated an 81% success rate for the mission. Meanwhile, Isherwell called Orlean for a private talk. Everyone's eyes were on space. The rockets were just about to leave Earth's orbit when they all started coming back to Earth with the help of parachutes. No one understood why the mission had suddenly failed. Meanwhile, Randall, Kate, and Teddy were also sitting in a room worried. Jason came in and said that Dr. Randall was now the White House's chief science advisor and that the president had called him for a meeting. Randall couldn't believe his ears and went into the meeting room with Jason. Everyone was anxious to know how their mission had failed. That's when Isherwell spoke, explaining that every mineral on Earth was limited and running out fast, especially those used for electronics. He revealed that their astrogeologists had found that the very comet they thought was a danger was full of these valuable minerals, worth $140 trillion. Randall understood why the mission had been canceled. He confronted Isherwell, asking if they had stopped the mission just to mine the comet. He questioned what good the money would be if there was no Earth left. Isherwell responded by describing a new plan: to cut the comet into smaller, harmless pieces that would not cause destruction when they fell to Earth. He said his new technology drones would attach explosives to the comet's surface and break it into pieces, which would then be dropped safely into the Pacific Ocean for collection by the U.S. Navy. This was a crazy decision. The slightest mistake could wipe out the entire Earth. But President Orlean and Isherwell were ready to put the entire human race at risk for their own benefit. Randall immediately went to Kate and Teddy and explained the whole situation. Kate became furious, yelling that the people behind this were out of their minds and were willing to risk the entire planet just to raise a cell phone company's stock. But on the other hand, Randall was beginning to support Orlean and Isherwell's decision, feeling that it would be more beneficial for the country to harvest the comet's resources instead of just destroying it. It was during this time that some people in a nearby bar overheard their conversation and demanded to know the truth. Kate, in a rage, yelled the truth to everyone in the bar, sparking a furious riot. Sometime later, the police somehow managed to control the situation, but after this, the FBI once again arrested Kate for leaking secret information. They gave her strict instructions that from now on, she was not to talk about the Comet or Isherwell's company in the media or anywhere else. On this condition, they let Kate go. Fed up with everything, Kate went to live with her parents. But her parents would not let her inside the house because they were supporting President Orlin in Isherwell's mission. Orlin had lied to the people, claiming the comet was not going to hit Earth and that harvesting it would make their country the richest in the world, eliminating unemployment and providing everyone with wealth. People had more faith in Orlin's words than in scientific proof. Kate's parents were among them. They clearly told Kate that if she didn't support the president, there would be no place for her in the house. Sometime later, Randall went to see Isherwell's drone with the president. Randall expressed his concerns, explaining that his reports showed no scientific testing had been done on the mission and that Isherwell was relying solely on his technology. He noted that Isherwell had even fired people who had questions about the plan. Isherwell was annoyed. He claimed that his technology and algorithms were incredibly accurate, boasting that he could tell anyone's future with 96.5% accuracy. Isherwell silenced Randall, telling him not to question his technology again. Randall now understood that Isherwell and President Orlin were going to put the world in danger for their own personal gain. Only 25 days were left for the comet to reach Earth. During this time, Randall was once again called for a TV interview. The TV channels and media had also been bought by the government and were treating the comet news as mere entertainment. On the show, the host asked Randall if the comet was even real. Randall became furious. He started screaming at the entire world on TV, telling them that they were all going to die. But still, no one believed him. After his outburst, he was fired from the White House. Meanwhile, Kate, fed up with the world, was living on the streets. She had made a new friend named Yule. Kate knew the world was going to end anyway, so she was having a romantic moment with Yule when she saw a shining light in the sky. It was the comet, now so close to Earth that it could be seen with the naked eye. With death now visible, fear started to grow among the people. Randall and Kate reunited and started telling people that this was the comet that was coming to end the entire Earth. Randall, Kate, and Teddy together launched a campaign with the slogan, "Just Look Up," urging people to take the danger seriously and pressure the government. But at the same time, President Orlin started provoking people, saying that Randall and Kate were spreading rumors and that the comet was not going to hit Earth, telling them to don't look up. A social media trend emerged. Those who believed the comet would end the world supported the Just Look Up movement, and those who were carefree after listening to the president's words supported the Don't Look Up movement. Meanwhile, Randall, Kate, and Teddy understood that no matter what they did, President Orlin would only see her own benefit. But they had hope from other countries. Because Orlin and Isherwell had refused to share the minerals from the comet, Russia, India, and China teamed up to blow it up. Unfortunately, their rocket, made in a hurry, exploded even before it could be launched, shattering Randall, Kate, and Teddy's last hope. At the same time, the comet had come very close to Earth. Now that death was visible, people's eyes were finally opened. They understood that the president had been deceiving them all this time, but it was too late. The comet was going to hit Earth in just a few hours, and destroying it so quickly was no longer in anyone's power. People all over the world started praying for the success of Orlin in Isherwell's mission. Meanwhile, Randall, Kate, Yule, and Teddy went to Randall's house. Randall did not believe that Isherwell's mission would succeed, so he had come to his family and friends to spend the last moments of his life happily. On the other hand, Orlin and Isherwell were ready to carry out their mission. The eyes of the entire world were on the sky. At the same time, their rocket was launched. They had launched 30 drones at once, but 4 crashed on Earth, which Isherwell brushed off as extra. The remaining 26 drones went toward the sky with the rockets. However, in the landing, 2 more drones were destroyed. Orlin's worry began to increase, but Isherwell was still giving everyone hope, saying that 24 drones were enough. The drones began drilling into the comet to place the explosives, but at the same time, a huge explosion occurred in the drones, and all contact with the control room was lost. Isherwell began sweating as he understood that his mission had failed. The end of the world was now certain. Isherwell and Orlin made an excuse to go to the bathroom and ran away from the control room. The news of the mission's failure spread throughout the world, after which riots broke out everywhere. In their last moments, people started running to be with their families. On the other hand, Randall was having a final dinner with his family and friends. It was at this time that he received a call from Orlin. Orlin told Randall that they had suspected the mission would fail and had already invented an escape ship that could hold 2,000 people. Orlin asked Randall to come with them, but Randall felt it was better to die with his family than to live like a coward. He rejected her offer and simply told her to enjoy the ride with her son Jason. But at that moment, Orlean remembered that in her concern for her own life, she had forgotten to bring Jason with her. Jason was still in the control room, waiting for Orlean to return from the bathroom. At the same time, the comet hit the Earth, causing a massive explosion that destroyed the entire planet in one go. The debris of the Earth was scattered into space, and all living beings were killed. But just then, a ship emerged from the Earth and went toward space. It was Isherwell's ship, carrying Isherwell and many other wealthy people who had escaped the destruction. During this time, all the survivors were in a state of deep sleep in their pods. After a long journey of about 22,740 years, the ship found a planet just like Earth and ejected the space shuttles containing the survivors. Many of the shuttles crashed due to a malfunction, killing all the survivors inside, but some landed safely. Among the survivors were Isherwell and Orlean. They saw a strange creature there. Seeing its beauty, Orlean started petting it, but at the same time, the creature grabbed Orlean's head and started eating it. More Bronterocs arrived in search of prey, and in this way, greed led to the end of the entire human race. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.